What is up, my friends? You're very welcome along to what is going to be a rather angry and frustrated player ratings video here on Anfield Agenda. Just look at that scoreline on your screen. At home, Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 3. That's off the back of a 3-0 defeat before the international break. It is very clear to me at this point that the manager is not the man to take this group forward. He can't get a reaction from them. He hasn't got the courage to stand up to the big players and make some tough decisions, and we are going backwards this season. 6 defeats from 7. 6 defeats from 7 in the Premier League as the reigning champions. You take out our first 5 games, which were victories, and from that point on, it's been an absolute shambles. Even then, we as Liverpool fans said, we're getting away with it. Performances aren't matching the results. We have no fear factor. These players are just playing off reputation and they're not putting in the hard yards. And that is a minimum accepted standard at this football club. Arna has lost the dressing room, in my opinion, and that's why I'm saying that the board need to act, or he needs to resign, because his time at the club should come to an end today. We're going to go through, as always, go through the referee, the players, the substitutes, and our manager, giving them all a score out of 10. You'll see 2 scores on each card. The upper right-hand corner is the average Anfield Agenda audience score, and the score in the centre is my score. If you'd like to play along in the future, make sure you join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp by scanning the QR code in the bottom corner, and I'll be back here tonight at 8:30 for the late night agenda, where we'll go through all of this in more detail. For now, let's get started with the referee. I don't think Andy Madley was either way great or bad today. If I'm a Forest fan, I'm feeling really hard done by for the goal that was ruled out. I'm going to be honest about it. If it was Liverpool, I'd want it to stand. I said in the watch along it should have stood, and I don't think it was a handball. Ironically, the first goal, I do think as a Liverpool fan, after seeing Rob was ruled out, I do question what went on there. But either way, I'm not feeling hard done by with this result, because Nottingham Forest were the better team and deserved their victory. I don't think the ref did too much wrong today. So for me, I'm going to give him a 6. The audience have gone for a 3.9. But honestly, putting aside my own frustrations at the loss of the game, I don't think Madley did too much wrong there today. So for me, a score of 6 and a 3.9 for the audience. Alisson Becker, great to have him back after such a prolonged period out. But, you know, he didn't look himself today. And yes, we did concede 3 goals from 7 shots on target. I'm not saying Alisson was the cause of any of it, but the fear factor just seems to be going from this team at home to be beaten 3-0. It's just not good enough. Look, we love Alisson. He's the best goalkeeper in the world. But today, he's part of a back 5 that just wasn't good enough. It's a 5 from me and a 4.5 from the audience. Next up, Dominic Szoboszlai. It's actually criminal. It's criminal that this man was being played at right back. It's criminal. I don't have any other words. He's our best player of the season, probably our best midfielder at the minute, and we're shoehorning him in at right back when Joe Gomez is sitting on the bench. I don't understand it anymore. Why not even stick one of our left backs at right back? We're just giving up so much going forward by shoehorning Dom in at right back. Dom's a brilliant player, probably one of the only ones this season that can hold his head up high. So a score for me today is a 6. And it's a 5.3 from the audience. But do let me know your thoughts in the comments. Next up, Ibrahim Konate, who was smirking as he jogged off the pitch to be substituted. Now, he shouldn't have gone out for the second half, because if Arna had a pair, he would have taken him off. But he didn't, and then within 1 minute of the second half, we concede a goal yet again, and the game's gone. Then he reacts by taking off Konate and putting Gravenberch back at centre-back. If you're a Joe Gomez sitting on the bench, what message does that send to you? Then he goes on, of course, and throws on Rio and throws on Chiesa when the game's gone. It's just enough at this point. Konate, whatever happens, should be benched. Whether he stays, signs a new contract, finds his way back, no problem with any of that. But right now, the man needs to be benched, because we either have standards or we don't. So for me, today, Konate gets a 3. And apparently I'm being generous, because as you can see from the audience, 2.0. 2 from the audience and a 3 from me. Our captain, Virgil van Dijk, part of the problem. And yes, you heard me right. He is part of the problem, because him and Arna's languid, laid-back attitude is causing some of this. There is no fear in these players. They aren't being held to account by the captain or the manager. Everybody knows how to say the right things, go into press conferences, post-match interviews, talk a lot, but actions speak louder than words. Contrast Virgil's defending and Konate's defending with the likes of Murillo and Elliot Anderson, who were putting their bodies on the line, throwing their heads at balls to block it. Meanwhile, our lads, 1 corner, 1 set piece, goal conceded. Not good enough. Not good enough. Virgil today gets a 3.5 from me and a 3 from the audience. Milos Kerkez. In the first half, I was enjoying him getting forward. I was enjoying him giving an option to Cody Gakpo, underlapping and overlapping runs. And he wasn't lacking in effort. But he is still being caught out of position. Balls are going in over his head. And he doesn't look settled into the team yet. I am willing to give Milos Kerkez a pass longer term because he's new to the team and he's settling in. But his score today is an honest 4. And it's a 3.2 from the audience. Probably should have went with Robbo. Look, captain hindsight here, but I said it during the week. It felt to me like the more natural fit was Andy Robertson for this game and then Milos Kerkez for the game against PSV Eindhoven when we're probably going to be on the front foot and attacking more. Just my thoughts on it. Intimate midfield, or should I say midfield / centre-back, Ryan Gravenberch, who apparently our manager doesn't think we need to bring in another centre-back or we're short because Ryan and Endo can play at centre-back. That's the level of excuses we're getting. We should have brought in a centre-back in the summer. We tried to but failed. Any conversation that doesn't revolve around Arne or anyone else saying we need a centre-back is delusional. We love Ryan Gravenberch. But again today, we're pushing a player out of position because others aren't doing their job. So for Ryan today, I'm going to give him a 4. And the audience have gone similar there with a score of 3.9. Alexis McAllister is being so far off it this season. Now, I did think he put himself about today and he tried to get stuck in. You never say this lad's lacking in fight. He always snaps into challenges. But we're just not seeing the same assuredness in his play lately. And probably because of those around him as well not doing their thing. Not a great performance today from Alexis, but I'm going to give him a 4.5. And the audience have gone a bit lower there with a score of 3.8. Curtis Jones, look, obviously Curtis was going to start today. It was pretty clear once we knew Dom was going to be at right back. Wirtz was injured. This is the direction of travel. Look, it's not his fault we lost that game, but I don't think he really added much to it either. No surprise to see him being substituted. It just wasn't a good day at the office for anybody, and that includes Curtis. So today, Curtis gets a 4, and the audience have gone even lower there with a 3.7. Mohamed Salah. You know where I'm going to go with this. And again, I take no pleasure in saying it. But Mohamed Salah needs to be benched. Mohamed Salah needs to be benched. Mohamed Salah needs to be benched. But Arne hasn't got the balls to do it. Federico Chiesa is getting garbage minutes while Mo is still drifting through games, which he started well in, by the way. First half, some really good stuff in the first half hour down the right-hand side. But then we reverted to type. He was getting pushed off the ball. This outside of the foot pass into players' legs does my head in because it happens over and over and over. And even when he gets into the penalty area, he's trying the outside of the foot pass across the front of the goalkeeper, which is right in his path. It's just not working. We need to be honest about this. The man needs some time on the bench. We need competition. Go bring in somebody in January. So Mo today gets an honest score of 4 from me and even lower from the audience. So if you think I'm being reactionary or angry about it, you can see the thousands of people who have voted as well thinking the same thing. Cody Gakpo. Again, same as always. Some good stuff, some bad stuff. Very obvious, but ineffective. That's it. You know, he turns defenders inside out and then wants to beat them again. He's just too one-dimensional. And there's no pace or fear in him. He takes players on and then he lets the ball bobble off his own legs and goes out. It's just not working at the minute. One touch too many on so many occasions. Getting in down that left-hand side in the first half. Gets into the penalty area. First time plays a 1-2. But instead of taking the first touch to play it back across, takes a touch, and then a defender comes out and closes him down and the ball goes out. These are things that you see other teams doing differently. Pulling the ball back quickly to a third-man run from the edge of the box. We just look clueless and lost. So Cody gets a score of 5 today, because I did think he did well in the first half, but it's a 3.7 from the audience. Isak. If I said to you he wasn't on the pitch today, you probably go, oh, I thought he wasn't. That's how ineffective he was. That's how ineffective we are with him. Not because he's not a good footballer. Yes, we know he's not match fit. Yes, we know he's not back to his best. But we also aren't giving him any ammunition. We aren't looking like we've any idea why we bought him or what to do with him. And that in itself is very concerning. So for Isak today, he gets a 3 because his performance, let's be honest, deserved the 3. But it's also not just down to him. He's not getting any service. It's a 2.7 from the audience and a 3 from me. Ugo Ekitike, one of the bright sparks. When he came on, straight away, once again, different dimension, making things tick, coming deep for the ball, going around the corner, just lively, a live wire. And it's a disgrace that he didn't start this game. A disgrace. So I thought Ekitike looked bright when he came on. I'm going to give him a 6. One of the highest scores of the day for me, because I do think he made a difference. And again, he should be starting every game at this point. And it's a 4.3 from the audience. Next up, Fede, another criminally underused player. Criminally. The treatment of him from this manager has been nothing short of a disgrace from start to finish. And it continues. Throwing him and Rio on for garbage time when the game's gone as scapegoats is absolute nonsense. And I'm going to call Arna out on it again. Because that's all he does. You don't see him being brought in at 0-0s. You don't see him being starting the game. No matter what Salah does, he's never replaced by Chiesa. It's unacceptable. And his confidence has been eroded and destroyed by Slot, and it needs to stop. So Fede for me today gets a 4 and a 4.8 from the audience. Andy Robertson. Again, I would argue, in my preview I said that I think he should have started this game. That being said, it's been a week for Robbo full of emotion. He qualified for World Cup with Scotland. You could see he was thinking of Diogo at the time as well. And, I've nothing but love and respect for Andy Robertson because he says it like it is. He plays with his heart on his sleeve and he gives a damn. Yes, he might not be the player he once was. But I tell you what, give me his attitude every day of the week. So I'm going to give Andy Robertson a 4 because, like I said, don't think he performed great, but he cares and that means a lot to fans. 4.2 from the audience, by the way, for Robbo. Rio, I feel so sorry for this kid. He's in this weird situation where he's not getting games in the senior team. He can't go back to the 21s because of the training regime, and he's not gone out on loan. So how have we progressed him this season? By denting his confidence, throwing him into games that are gone, and saying, hey, go out there, kid, and bring us back into the game at 17. Like I've said numerous times, young man like him should be brought in when the team's doing well. Should be eased in bit by bit to gain confidence, not to try and rescue senior players who are earning multiples and multiples of his wages. It's not fair on him, and again, that comes down to the manager. So Rio, for me, gets a 5 because, like I said, what do we expect from the young man? He's only starting his journey. He needs better from the manager. And Arne Slot, I've always said to you, when I think the players aren't responding, it's time to go. And that's exactly where I'm at with Arne Slot. Because this is 2 international breaks. He's had 2 weeks to figure it out. And we've come back in and lost at home twice. To Manchester United and to Forest. It's unacceptable. He's lost out there. The dressing room aren't playing for him. And he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't. I'm not just being reactionary. What is our identity? What is the style of football? What way are we trying to play? What are we doing to get the best out of the Wirtzes, the Isaks, and the players we spend so much money on? The answer is he doesn't know to all of it. It's not good enough. And for that reason, his score for me today is P45, which, in case you don't know, means it's time to get fired. That's the paperwork you get in the UK and Ireland when you're giving your marching orders out of the job. So that's the score for me today. P45. Messrs Henry and Werner need to act because it ain't going to get better. Fans have lost it at this point. I know there are many excuses and reasons why they're going to justify him staying. And I think he does stay. But I tell you now, the majority of fans feel his time is done and the club need to grow a pair and act. You can see the average score there for the manager, 1.4. I've never seen a score that low on this channel, ever. That's the feeling of where people are at. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the player ratings. Like I said, I'll be back tonight at 8:30 for the late night agenda. Thank you for watching. I wish it was under better circumstances, but let me know how you're feeling. Is it time for the manager to go? Do you agree or do you disagree? Thanks for your time.